Good day, ma'am. My name is Wilbert Biligarda. This is my video presentation Criminology of Psychology. Let's start. Criminal psychology is criminal psychology is defined as the study of human behavior in relation to criminality. To understand criminality psychology better, it is necessary to have a familiarity with the basic principle and concept of general psychology. First, because the criminal psychology is the application of the principle of general psychology to understand criminal behavior. Ang criminal psychology po ay isang pag-aaral tungkol sa behavior ng isang tao. Second is, psychology is the systematic scientific study of behavior and mental process. Behavior refers to observable action or responses, while mental process which are not directly observable refer to a wide range of complex mental process such as thinking, imagining, studying, and dreaming. Simply put, behavior are action that can be seen because there are physical action involved like walking, dancing, speaking, and others. Mental process, however, cannot be seen because these take place only in the mind. Example of these are remembering, fantasizing, the study of emotion, and personal are also included in the psychology. One of the aspects in the study of general psychology that's important in criminal psychology is the adjustment and frustration mechanism of an individual. This aspect of human behavior play very important roles in development of criminal behavior. Adjustment in the continuous process of attempt to overcome the inner and outer obstacles to the satisfaction of needs. Frustration is the condition of being thwarted in the satisfaction of a motive and may be the result of either environmental or personal condition, or both operating at the same time. Involved dito yung mga physical action katulad ng paglalakad, pagsasayaw, pananalita. At kung ano-ano pa. Involved din dito yung emotion of personality in a person. Minsan naisip natin kung paano nga ba malalampasan yung mga problema na darating sa ating buhay. Na lumalabas ang illustration natin kapag hindi natin nakuha yung isang satisfaction o may mga bagay tayo na hindi makukuha na ikakasaya natin. Halimbawa, gusto ko yung saya makuha, makompleto yung pamilya ko sa Pasko, pero hindi mangyayari kasi nga dahil sa mga bagay na hindi pagkakaunawaan. Another areas of study in psychology is abnormal behavior. It is called abnormal psychology. Abnormal psychology is the study of maladjustment among mental, social, and emotional debates. First, mental disorder or studied person can affect his behavior. Mental health refers to the individual state of adjustment to himself to his environment with maximum effectiveness and satisfaction. Good mental health has been used synonymously with the price well adjust. A person suffering from the mental disorder is not expected to behave like normal person, and that could lead to criminality behavior. So basically what psychology teach is that a person act or behaves a certain way because he influenced by the different factors that cause him to act or behave. That's why psychology explains the cause of the behavior. Dito naman lumalabas ang ating frustration natin kapag hindi natin nakuha yung satisfaction natin o yung mga bagay na nagpapasaya sa atin. Yung abnormal psychology naman ay yung mental health ng isang tao ay nakaka-apekto sa nagiging behavior ng isang individual. Criminal psychology. Sa criminal psychology, what is studied are the behavior and thought process of person who commit crimes and tries to explain the mind of the criminals. It's aimed to know what's going on in person's mind that made him commit the crime. Explore the different psychology factors that cause people to violate the law and resort to criminal behavior. Dito naman po sa criminal psychology, sila naman yung mga tao na may kakayahang mag-adapt ng mga obstacles na nangyayari sa buhay nila. Kung ikaw ay walang mental health at ito yung magkakaroon ng problema sa pag-iisip. One such factors in personality that was briefly discussed in Chapter 5 under the topic of psychological determination. More particular, the theory of personality or psychological or psychoanalytic theory of Sigmund Freud. According to the Freud theory, criminality caused by the imbalance of the three components of personality, the id, ego, and superego. Naging lead to criminal to behavior, kaya ito ay nakakapag-aaral ng criminal psychology. Criminal psychology, pag-usapan natin dito yung mga dahilan kung bakit nagkukumit ng crime ang isang tao. Personality, isa sa mga nakikita ng tao kung bakit ito ay nakapag-commit ng crime. At base sa tinalakay ni Sigmund Freud na yung id, ego at superego, doon sa chapter 5, ito ay ang dahilan at pagpigil sa gagawin mong krimen. At pag napag-desisyonan mong at matapos mo ang gawin yung krimen, ay maaari mo itong pagsisihan. Emotional problem is another cause of criminality. A person inability to cope with the frustration, conflict, challenge, and difficulties of life can lead him to act criminality. Likewise, a person must know how to control negative emotion. Intense emotion can affect mental processes. Failure to control this emotion could also lead to criminal behavior. This is where the concept of the adjustment, frustration, defense mechanism are useful in understanding criminal behavior. There's a normal reaction, a frustration reaction that help reaction, and this abnormal reaction led unacceptable behavior and sometimes even result in development of a mental disorder in the person. A person who suffering from a mental disorder is not acting normally and rationally. His thought process are affected by such mental disorder, and this might cause him to behave in an inacceptable way, sometimes even leading to commission of crime. Ang emotional problem naman ay isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit nakapag-commit ng crime ang isang tao. Dahil sa kanilang pansariling problema. Halimbawa, ako ay dahil masyado akong madamdamin. Kapag mahal ko yung isang tao, tapos biglang nawala sa akin, dun papasok yung emotional problem at maaari akong makapag-commit ng crime. Abnormal reaction to frustration. Neurosis and psychosis are abnormal reaction to frustration. Neurosis is a mild form of mental disorder that can usually be cured by the therapy. Although it may cause disruption in daily life, it's not serious to affect his general perception of reality. But psychosis is a severe mental disorder that greatly affects the individual concept of reality. It's usually difficult to cure but can be managed using medication, therapy, confinement to a mental hospital or facility. abnormal reaction to frustration, neurosis, mild form of mental disorder. Pag sinabing mild, hindi po ito ganon kalala, yung emotional problem. Pero kung psychosis ang tumama sa'yo, na nakaka-apekto talaga sa concept ng reality ng isang tao, ito ay mahirap gumutin. Pero kayang i-manage sa pamamagitan ng medication, therapy, or mental hospital. Classification of mental disorder. Mental disorder is generally defined as a prolonged or recurring problem that seriously interferes with an individual's ability to live satisfying personal life and function adequately in a society. The term mental disorder is generic term that refers to all form of mental illness and abnormalities. However, there are what is called the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder. Text prevention of DSM-5, which contain the description and classification of the different mental disorder known today. It was developed and continual update by the American Psychiatric Association. The latest version of which, the year 2000 version, since the topic is criminal psychology. The types of mental disorders discussed here are limited only to those that are believed to be contributory factors or cause of criminal behavior. These are schizophrenia and other psychotic disorder. 2. Mood disorder. 3. Anxiety disorder. And 4. Personality disorder. Ang classification of characteristic Ang classification of mental disorder is a generic term ng iba't ibang uri ng illness and mental health abnormality. May dalawang uri ang schizophrenia. Ang isa ay paranoid schizophrenia at disorganized schizophrenia. Schizophrenia and other psychotic disorder. Schizophrenia is a severe form of psychosis. Hallucination, delusion, and disorganized behavior are some of the psychotic symptoms of this disorder. Schizophrenia has several subcategories which include the following: paranoid schizophrenia and disorganized schizophrenia. Ang ibig sabihin ng schizophrenia ay malalang uri ng sakit. Paranoid schizophrenia is characterized by auditory hallucination and delusion, such as thought of being persecuted by others or thought of the grande. Hallucination are the sensory of experience without any stimulation from the environment. Delusion are irrational beliefs. Hallucination are the faults of perception, such as when the person sees something that is not there or hears sometimes that no one else can hear. The first, called visual hallucination, is the latter auditory hallucination. Delusion are false beliefs, and the most common example are delusion of grandeur, delusion of persuasion, and delusion of reference. Delusion of grandeur or grandiose delusion is kind of delusion where the persons believe that he is better than everybody, or that he can do anything because he has special power or abilities, or somebody is great other than themselves. A person who is totally convinced that God is example of his delusion of reference. The person believes that everybody around him is always looking and talking about him, convince him that he is always being watched and talk about it. A person suffering from delusion of persecution or persecutory delusion falsely believes that somebody or everybody trying to harm him, always to do something bad to him, and there are people who are conspiring to attack or even kill him. Sa delusion of grandeur naman po ay yung siya ay naniniwala na siya ang pinakamagaling sa lahat, walang makakatalo sa kanya. Halimbawa ng grandeur ay yung naniniwala siya na siya yung may kapangyarihan siya na nakakalipad siya tapos akit sa mataas na building tapos tatalon siya tapos yun yung magdudulot na kanyang kamatayan dahil yung nasa isip nila ay parang hallucination lang. Mood disorder. A mood disorder is a prolonged and disturbed emotional state that affects almost all of person's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Depression and bipolar disorder are examples of this order. May dalawang type ang mood disorder, ang depression at bipolar disorder. Yung depression po ay di birong sakit. Dahil sa depression, mawawala ka po ng tiwala sa sarili, yung mawawala na yung mga interest mo na sa buhay, yung parang yung masisira na yung mundo mo. Tulad po nung nangyari sa pinsan ko, na-depress po siya, kaya nagpakamatay po. Bipolar disorder. On the hand out marked by fluctuation between episode of depression and mania. Mania is defined as feeling or extreme excitement or elation. A person with bipolar disorder will feel extremely happy for a period of time and then wake up the following day feeling very low and depressed for no apparent of the reason. Anxiety disorder. These disorders are characterized by psychological signs of anxiety and feelings of tension, apprehension, and fear. Phobias and obsessive-compulsive disorder are the commonly known as anxiety. Merong dalawang uri ang anxiety disorder. Ito ay ang phobia at OCD. Dito muna tayo sa phobia. Ang phobia ay maaaring magkaroon ka ng takot sa isang bagay. Halimbawa lang, takot ka sa mga madidilim, matataas, yung takot ka sa mga kulob na lugar, takot ka sa hayop, ganun po ang halimbawa ng phobia. Ang OCD naman po ay obsessive compulsive disorder o OCD is characterized by the presence of a persistent unreasonable ideas or action. Obsession is useless and irrational idea, usually disturbing and unwelcome, that pours itself into the consciousness of individuals. It's usually an impulse to carry out compulsion. A compulsion is useless and irrational act which the person feels compelled to perform, usually some ritualistic act. Personality disorder. Most commonly known disorder under this category are paranoid personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Paranoid personality disorder is a pattern of distrust, suspicious, and perceiving others as having evil motives. Antisocial personality disorder refers to the pattern of disregarding or violating the rights of the other without feeling guilt or remorse. People suffering from antisocial personality disorder is also referred to as a psychopath or sociopath. Most serial killers are diagnosed to have antisocial personality disorder. They are able to commit the most gruesome crimes and are capable to torturing their victims before killing them. Because they lack of conscience, when they are finally caught, they still do not feel any shame or regret for the evil things they did. They still do feel and shame because they don't have a sense of right and wrong or bad. The concept of morality is not known of them. Pag sinabi naman po nating personality disorder, ito naman po yung masyado siyang tamang hinala sa paligid niya. Yung parang yung isang tao kahit walang balak gawin sa kanya, iniisip niya na may gagawin sa kanyang masama yun o gusto siyang patayin nun. Yung antisocial personality disorder naman po, ito naman po yung papasok po dito yung psychopath or sociopath. Yung mga nagagawa ng mga tao na wala sa katinoan. Kasi mga hindi kayang gawin yun ng mga normal na tao. Mga tao lang, ang mga gumagawa lang yung mga tao na wala sa kontrol, yung mga baliw. Ganun. Next, sexual deviance or aberration. One very important aspect in the study of criminal psychology is the cause of the behavior or sexual offenders. Sexual offenses are very common crimes committed against women and children by people, usually males, who are suffering from the form of mental disorder that affect their sexual behavior, which leads them to the commission of sex-related offense. Dito naman po papasok si paraphilia. Paraphilia is a medical of behavior science term of what is also referred to as sexual deviation, sexual anomaly, sexual perversion, and disorder of sexual deviant. Stimulate paraphilia are currently recognized as one of the categories of the disorder exacerbation. Paraphilia is a simple term, refers to a condition which a person derives sexual gratification from performing certain activities from objects that are not sexual in nature, that are not normal done experienced by average of ordinary people. Some of the most common form of paraphilia are the following. Pedophilia. Pedophilia is deriving sexual gratification from engaging in sexual activities in children. Ang pedophilia ay nagtutulak sa kanya na kanyang gratification pag siya ay yung exhibitionism, driving sexual gratification from exposing genital in public. Ito naman po yung mga tao na nagpapakita ng mga maselang bagay ng katawan nila sa mga public place tulad nilang ng bus, tren. Yun po. Yung fetishism driving sexual gratification from special object, example, underwear, shoes, pantos. Dito naman po niya nakuha yung kanyang sexual gratification from specific object. Yung fruiterism driving sexual gratification from rubbing one's body against strangers. Ito naman po yung pagdidikit ng mga maselang bagay ng katawan niya sa isang tao na hindi niya kilala. Ito ay madalas nangyayari sa mga bus, tren, yung mga public place po. Yung sexual masochism naman po, deriving sexual masochism gratification from inflict pain or humiliating to himself or by others, including autoerotic sexual intercourse. Ito naman po yung habang nakipagtali ka sa isang tao, yung gusto mo yung sinasaktan ka, sinasakal, yun po. Yung susunod naman po ay yung sexual sadism. Sexual sadism deriving sexual gratification from inflicting pain or humiliating or others during sexual intercourse. Ito naman po yung kabaliktaran ng sexual masochism. Yung sexual sadism naman po, sila po yung gusto na nananakit sila po yung sasakal, ganun po. Sunod naman po ay transvestic fetishism, deriving sexual gratification from wearing clothes usually worn by the other sex. And yung voyeurism peeping, deriving sexual gratification from sexual watching people, undressing, dressing up, or having sexual interaction without somebody else. Yung peeping po, ito po yung taong nainilip habang yung isang tao po ay nagbibihis o kaya siya habang may nagsisex, may nanonood po siya. Necrophilia, corpses, deriving sexual gratification from having sexual intercourse with a dead body. Ito naman po yung tao na makipagtalik sa mga patay. Yung mas gusto niya makipagtalik sa patay kaysa sa buhay. Suphilia, animals, deriving sexual gratification from having sexual intercourse with animal, also called bestiality. Yung supilya naman po, ito po yung tao na nakipagtalik po sa hayop. Halimbawa na lang po sa aso, kabayo, baka, kalabaw. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.